Hey, my truth seekers, one day I'm going to get it right. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and nine buys. Guys, look, as you can see by the title, which I went ahead and changed it. I mean, I had to turn around and change the title because I was supposed to come on to talk about Sheree Whitfield, Martell Holtz, and Kim Zosiak, and how Portia went ahead and fumbled the ball, which I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that as well. Which most likely that's why they're gonna go ahead and negotiate. But again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and nine buys. I see. Let's talk about it. Is in the house. She says, "Hey, Lady D and chat." Guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and nine buys. In here is grown folks. Look, we ain't got time to pacify anyone. We ain't got time to stroke no one ego. We're going to stand on our truth because, like I said, it is what it is. And if you can't stand the heat, then you just go ahead and get out of the kitchen. But as you can see right here by my new title, I have Kenya Moore's Shocking Revenge P. It might seal the deal when it comes to Sheree Whitfield and Martell Holt and many others, because they said that Sheree, now this is alleged, all this right here is alleged for entertainment purpose only. I'm gonna go ahead and read the disclaimer, but they said that Sheree, she might, come back on the show, which they need her because these people, man, they are doing a little too much. But when I saw this stuff that is going on with Kenya Moore and all the stuff, that they saying that she's doing, and all this right here is alleged. So before I get into all this good stuff, let me go ahead and do my copyright disclaimer, and then I can go ahead and get into it. So let me see if I can see it. It says copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, research. Fair use is used permitted by statute, permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So all this right here, guys, is for entertainment purpose only. Like I said, you aired out, you are free game. But I know for sure, I could just see it in the spirit when it came to all this stuff that is going on, how they saying that Kenya Moore went ahead and just went out with a bang. I mean, she sat there and put a poster of something that was very illegal, similar to what Martell did or alleged did. But like I said, when Martell heard that news, I bet you he was in the house jumping for joy, because we already know that if Martell Holt would have came on, which most likely I think he is going to go on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kenya Moore was setting on ready. Yes, Kenya Moore was setting on ready to go ahead and throw that and smear it in his face. But like I said, I always talk about it, guys. What goes around comes around. And I'm not here to gloat over no one's demise, but I truly believe that, like I said, when you out there acting like a gutter sniper and you living in a glass house, just remember that, like I said, you are not exempt. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, Kenya Moore, she did a lot of stuff. And one thing when it comes to Kenya Moore goes to what I say a very, very dark place to go ahead and try to assassinate anyone that comes against her. But like I said, you reap what you sow. And as you can see right here, all the stuff that is coming out right now, she's reaping what she sow. So let me go ahead and play this little thumbnail, and well, not my little thumbnail, my intro. And then after that, I'm going to continue with the rest. Okay. So again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and nine buys.
겁이 나서 시작조차 안 해봤다면 그댄 투덜대지 마라 좀.
Oh my God, Lord Jesus, guys. I just had to play that. I see my girl is in the house, Miss Wu. She says, "Good afternoon, Lady D and chat." Hi, Miss Wu. How are you doing, guys? Thank you for coming in and spending time with me. I mean, happy, blessed Saturday because it's very beautiful out there. But guys, I just had to come on. I just had to come on. And one thing about me, I do not gloat over no one's demise because, like I said, everything can turn around. Because one thing about karma, karma will not forget an address. And when I saw this right here, and I'm going to say that, all this right here to me is for entertainment purpose only because most of this information coming from media takeout. Now, I don't know how they went ahead and got this information, but when I saw this, the first thing, I don't know about you guys, but the first thing came to mind is Martell Holt. That's the first thing came to mind when they said that Kenya Moore, at her big old grand open, instead of she making it about her hair spa, which, if I'm not mistaken, they gave her a grand open about twice or maybe three times, but this one right here was very big, and I just don't understand why. As they say, Kenya Moore, she's very smart, she's not a stupid person. Why would Kenya Moore do what they said that she did? And like I say, all this right here is alleged. To me, is for entertainment purpose only. Like I said, I can go only by what they put out, but Kenya Moore already know that, Martell Holt on Love and Marriage in Huntsville is going through the same stuff that she actually did. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, but this is how I look at it. This is how I look at it because you know how it is when it comes to my mind. I can take the foolish things to confirm the wise. And when it comes to these reality shows, I look at it as the foolish things and where our people at. And the most high God, this is how I look at it. And you might sit there and say, this is gossip, but I truly believe that God can take all this mess and he can turn it into a message, and he knows this is where our people at. Where are people at? Our people are smack dab in the middle of these reality shows, where some of our people, they would not go outside and touch grass. They right there smack in a dip, in a dab of this. But like I said, this right here is what I call, hold on, guys. The phone was not ringing until I got this information. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead and where was I? Yeah, what I'm saying is that, when it comes to these shows, especially with these reality shows, I think that the reason why we so invested when it comes to these people lives is because, we all can take a piece out of it. But I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. Everything happened to a reason, especially the way I view things. I do not look at these shows the way that some people do. I don't look at it as a show. I look at it how to sit there and pick it apart where I can get into the core of stuff. And when it comes to this right here, we've been beating this dead horse. I mean, beating it until we couldn't beat it no more when it came to Martell Holt. We already know, Martell is going through the same thing that Kenya Moore, smart, intelligent Miss Universe, is went out and did the same thing. Ain't nobody exempt. This is the year of exposure. This is the year where nobody is not going to get away with anything. Okay. So we already know when Martell went ahead and they said that he released, some revenge P, about his wife, which we already know, it wasn't true. He didn't put it to make a public spectacle the way that Kenya Moore did. Kenya Moore did a public spectacle because Martell, he took some still pictures and they said that he sent it to his wife. That's why they call it text communication, which, he didn't go and show the entire world, or anyone that watches this type of mess. What Martell did, he went and he showed it to his wife and told his wife, to stop threatening me, and all this other stuff. But everybody took what Martell did and they blew it up. They blew it up where they just couldn't see that this man, would even exist. Why is this man is on the show to do something that was so despicable? I mean, they took it and they beated it. They wrung it like an old dirty dish rag. Like they couldn't wring it no more. But now the tables done turned. Like I say, we are the type of people where we pick and we choose, who we want to sit there and put our foot on. Now that the tables are turned and now it's in somebody that they call their favorite, all you're hearing is what? Crickets, 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 crickets. You don't hear anyone saying anything about this. They want to sit there and say, well, Kenya Moore, she had the right to do what she did because this new girl, her name is Brittany Eddy, Eady, and I might be Edie. I might be pronouncing her last name wrong. Charge it to my heart. But they said that Brittany had went ahead and threatened Kenya Moore with a pow pow, but it didn't happen at her event because Brittany was not there. So if Brittany was not there at Kenya Moore's grand opening, why did Kenya Moore needed to show a huge poster of this girl allegedly having fellatio with someone? And they said that Portia Williams was the first person that said this is revenge P. And a lot of them, they was even upset. I'm going to read some of the comments. But the thing about it is that what I look at it as, what goes around come around. We want to see how these fans, because we already know when it came to Martell Holt, it's the public, made a big deal out of it. All this right here was for the public to go ahead and be the judge, the jury, and the executor. So now that it had happened to their favorites, we're going to see how this right here is going to play out. Because like I said, we already know what it was all about when it came to Martell Holt, which I sit there and say, we're not giving him excuse. But we already know that this man could not even sit there and say anything without these people there to put their foot on this man's neck. This man was just like he was hammered down for any and everything. And we already know that all this right here, what happened to Martell, it was happened because most likely Miss Petty Betty didn't have a storyline and she was holding something that was most likely 2 years in her pocket. And all of a sudden, when the ratings was going down, and this is my opinion, like I said, I'm basing all this right here off a reality show. And when Miss Petty Betty, she didn't have a storyline. And when this show was aired, she needed to sit there and go out with a bang. So all of a sudden, Martell get arrested. And soon in a minute, they start airing the new season. They open it up with this right here. And I mean, people just didn't want it to let it go. I mean, they was just beating this, like I said, like a dirty old dish rag. But now that the tables have turned, it's Kenya Moore, then people is trying to figure out how to justify this. And that's where it becomes so comical, because you cannot justify something, or someone just because you ride for that person. Now, like I said, what Martell did was wrong, but what Kenya Moore did was even wrong, because we already know when it comes to spouse, going through a nasty divorce, they're going to do anything and everything to try to hurt each other. But when it came to Kenya Moore does not have any attachment to this new lady that's coming on, her name is Brittany Eden. She don't have no attachment to this. To sit there and put this out. And some was saying, well, it's already out there on social media. I don't give a care. I don't give a care if it's already out there on social media. It's not for Kenya Moore to sit there and do something like that because that's illegal. That's illegal. And I'm pretty sure that, we want some answers. So let me go ahead and read some of the stuff that was going on out there because this right here, guys, this is a lot. This is nothing to play about. So let me know what your thoughts about all this right here because this right here is a lot. And if Martell can get away with it, not Melody, Kenya Moore cannot get away with it as well. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second.
겁이 나서 시작조차 안 해봤다면 그댄 투덜대지 마라 좀
And like I said, guys, this right here, it is what it is. It is what it is. So let me see if I can go ahead and read some of the stuff that is out there when it comes to this right here. But like I said, when it comes to this right here, hold on one second, guys. Sorry about this. Soon in a minute, I came on with some stuff. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Sorry about all that right there. Okay. So, where was I? So let me go ahead and read this right here. This is coming from Media Takeout. Okay. So let me read, and I know you guys most likely saw this right here about 101 times, but I also see this right here. This is just pulled up. Let me read this right quick. This is my first time seeing this right here. It says, can you respond to the alleged story of her and newbie Britain altercation? It says Kenya Moore. This is coming from Kenya Moore. This is what she went ahead and she released. I'm gonna read some more of that. But this right here just came up. It says that I would never engage in RP. I have never distribute private images or footage of anyone, nor solicit image owned by others to use to threaten or blackmail. I have always been vindicated. I can't talk about it story even with people planning fake news. So Kenya Moore is saying all this right here is fake news. news. Now, we've been hearing a lot of people saying that, they saw it. But I'm going to say right here, all this right here is allegedly. Now, this coming from Kenya Moore's statement right here, okay? So Kenya Moore said that she cannot talk about it. But if you didn't do it, tell me why you can't talk about it. That right there is kind of strange. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to stay on this story right here because this right here is similar to what Martell is going through. So let me see what media take out. And again, guys, all this right here is for entertainment purpose only. We only going by of what they put out. You air it out, you are free game. But according to Kenya Moore, she's saying all this right here is fabricated. Okay, but this right here is coming from media takeout. Hold on one second, guys. Right here it says exclusive Atlanta housewife Kenya Moore leaks explicit pictures of Brittany Eden. It says right here that the new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta just had its first blockbuster moment. Media Takeout was exclusively in attendance for a grand opening of Kenya Hair Spa in Atlanta, and all the current season Housewives cast was in attendance. First, the good. Kenya New Salon is amazing. It's beautiful, upscale. And from what we could tell, the price was reasonable and service was very, very comprehensive. And that's why I understand why, did she felt the need to sit there, if it is true, to go out with a big bang because they said that Kenya Moore, she had put up a very huge poster Brittany and someone, having fellatio. So right here, it also says that Kenya Moore has been having an ongoing feud with new cast member Brittany Eden. We're not going to go into exactly what started the beef, but Miss Kenya Moore used her spa open to make sure that she left Brittany now who she was dealing with. Also, it says right here that shortly after Kenya Moore made her grand entrance, she walked over to a series of posters that she had set up and asked for the crowd attention. Now, if this is true, and she wanted the entire crowd to see, something like this, what was on Kenya Moore's mind? This right here is not it because we already know when you put stuff out there, even if it's already out there on social media, this right here is still revenge P and it's illegal. Okay. So right here it says, then media takeout confirmed Kenya did the unthinkable. She uncovered the poster which showed very explicit and graphic image supporting her rival Brittany with a large, in her mouth. The entire crowd gasped in awe, both of Kenya's audacity and by the manner that Brittany or whoever that was aggressively eating the blank in the photograph. My God, media takeout is not able to repost the image. So if they saying right there that media takeout, is not reposting the image, quite obvious, that was graphic. But it says common decency and revenge P law. After Kenya big reveal, Brittany immediately started yelling and had to be escorted out by security. Now, some say that Brittany was not even there. So, they say she wasn't there. So, but right there, media takeout, they saying that she was there. Now, I've been listening to, some of the bloggers out there. They said that Brittany did not show up. Now, I know for sure Portia was there. What's the name? Shamil was there. Cynthia Bailey, and who else was there? And they didn't show Drew. They didn't show Drew, but they said that Drew was there. But now on media takeout, they said that Brittany was there, and she started yelling and had to be escorted out by security. Brittany friends Portia then also left seemingly upset with Kenya. Kenya, to her credit, stayed calm because that's how, Kenya Moore, she does. Kenya Moore does stuff like that. Kenya Moore is the type of person, that what she would do is she would throw the rock and she would hide her hands. When she do something, she does not flinch. It's like, when she do it, it's like something that she get, a kick out of something like this. But this right here, man, she better hope, if this is not true, she don't get arrested for this. Now, I didn't see nowhere where Brittany came out and she talked about it, which most likely if Kenya Moore went ahead and did this, Brittany's attorneys most likely said, don't even go on social media, don't even talk about it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to handle this. But I'm pretty sure that if it is true, Brittany is not going to just go after Kenya Moore. She's going to go after Bravo, True Entertainment, and anyone else that, was a part of this event. And I've been talking about this. I made hundreds of videos when I used to go ahead and do reviews on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And guys, I had huge followers where even Nene Leakes used to repost my videos. I had almost like 8,000 subscribers. And when the minute that I stopped talking about this mess, then that's when everybody started, dropping off. But I had to stand on my truth because I saw, especially when it comes to Kenya Moore is a loose cannon. And that's why, I used to always say nobody is going to bank off of Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore is the type of person, she's she's a big liability. And if this is true, then what I said long time ago, it is true. Kenya Moore is a big liability. She's a loose cannon. She's very smart. She's very articulate, but Kenya Moore got some issues. And I'm going to say allegedly, all this right here is for entertainment purpose only. But Kenya Moore has some, from what I saw off on this show, and I'm not a therapist, but Kenya Moore has some issues in her life that, she has to go ahead and deal with before they make her the center of everything. Because if not, she's going to end up tearing the entire house down. And as you can see, this right here, this is very despicable. This is very gut wrenching, to do something that we've been talking for months of what we accusing Martell of. And like I said, we are not trying to justify what Martell did, but still evolve. What Martell did, when you are married and going through a nasty custody battle, we do stuff like this. But that was pictures that he was sending back and forth to his ex-wife. But Kenya Moore has no attachment to this right here to put out this type of information. And all this right here, we're going to sell legend. All this right here is for entertainment purpose only. You air it out, you are free game. Okay. So let me go ahead and continue reading. And this article right here is coming from Media Takeout. Okay. So I'm done with this right here. I don't see any more. But also I had let me see this right here. I think this was someone had put on, and they said, I think they was there as well. I think they was the ones that was taking pictures. They said, I am still trying to recover myself. Now, why people, if it's not true, why would they say something like this? And I know, when it comes to stuff like this, they have a what you call that, NDA, where it's certain things that they cannot say. But this is what this person said, I am still trying to recover myself. I couldn't even take a photo. My mouth fell to the floor, and I am just in awe, like that was the most deadliest scene probably ever filmed on the franchise. And somebody sit there and say, well, they just doing all this right here to just hype up the show. Well, you're not going to hype up the show when you sitting there doing something that is very illegal. This is illegal. And if you want to go ahead and pull up the laws, especially when it comes to the state of Georgia, then I'm pretty sure that you would know that Kenya Moore, she was out of line when it came to stuff like this. Okay. I see Grandma Mucci says, if this is true, she has no respect for herself or others. No disagreement is worth a hit of your reputation. If it is not true, this is the lowest form of slander. This is not entertainment. Absolutely. But one thing that I do know, and you might sit there and say, well, would she want to put God in this? Because God knew that you guys sat there when it came to Martell Holt. You guys sat there and you wrote this guy until you couldn't write it no more, to sit there and make this man the face of all this despicable stuff that is going on. But see, I'm going to tell you how my God worked. I don't know how your God works. And you might sit there and say, what God has to do with this? Well, like I said, when you come on here, I know exactly how to take the foolish things of this world to conform the wise. Now, this is where my people at. So that's why I said there, and I'm going to put God in this. But we sitting there, we crucifying this man, trying to keep this man from making a living, trying to take this man children away from him. But yet, how God would turn it around, because he know where our people at. Our people love these type of shows, like I call it a minstrel show, a circus. So he's going to say, okay, I'm going to see. We already know how the public, because we already know the public is the one that's sitting there putting their foot on Martell's neck. Martell is being, judged through the public. They are the ones that the judge, the jury, and the executor. So he's going to say, well, okay, we already know how the people, the public opinion, how they handled Martell Holt on Love and Marriage in Huntsville. Well, now I'm about to turn the script around. I'm going to see how they're going to be able to handle when one of their most favorite person is out there doing the same thing that they accuse Martell of. I'm going to see how they're going to handle it. Because you know how it is. We live in a world that we love its own. We pick and choose what to chew and what to spit out, who to put our foot on and who to take our foot off. So now I'm about to turn it around. So what the Most High God did, he went ahead and he flipped the script. Now, who is on the judgment seat for the entire world to pick it apart? Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore. Fans' favorite. And now we're trying to see now how they're going to be able to spin this story, because like I said, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. If you sitting there, you do it to Martell, then we're going to see how they're going to do it for Kenya Moore. This right here is a big win when it comes to Martell, because we already know most of all the stuff that Martell is going through is because these overzealous fans took this story and they spend it. But let me see how they're going to go ahead and spin this right here. And this is real talk, okay? Burgundy, never could pronounce your name, Burgundy, Burganda, said Kenya just went live. Someone else did that. Kenya's daughter was there at the event. Well, I don't know. Like I say, all this right here is alleged. All this right here, like I said, we just going to have to wait to see how all this stuff is going to play out. But even if Kenya Moore had someone else to do it, it still was at her event. I'm pretty sure that Kenya Moore know exactly what was going on at her event in her business. You can't tell me Kenya Moore didn't know. Now, when she saw these big old posters that was, coming out, I would have said, let me see what's going on. What is these posters before anyone would even take the sheets from away from this? So, like I said, it is what it is. She's still going to be held accountable for it because it was at her business. It was during, where, her grand opening. So she should have known what was going on. If somebody came in to sabotage her, well, if someone came in to sabotage Kenya Moore's business, then today we should be hearing that Kenya Moore is saying that this person is arrested. I'm going to arrest this person. But it does not go that way, because even if Kenya Moore did not know what was going on, she still is going to be held accountable for it because it was her business. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So let me go ahead and read some more. Uh, this is what Drew says. Drew says, I am this is what Drew had put on. She had posed, I am flabbergasted and floored. So something had to happen. Something had to happen, because what this guy had came out and he said that I couldn't even take the photos. My mouth fell to the floor and I'm just in awe. Like that was the most deadly scene probably even filmed on the franchise. And Drew Sador says, I am flabbergasted and floored. So something had to happen. And also, this right here is coming from the Bravo Shed Room. You all is going down in Atlanta. Kenya Brittany got into it. And another person says the peaches has already gone sour. Season 16 newbie Brittany Eddy and Real Housewives of Atlanta Kenya Moore got into it. And they say that it's real deadly. And no, it's not involving Candy's restaurant. So I don't know why they say Candy restaurant. I guess, probably when they say deadly, how all the stuff that, had happened with Candy. But Candy is out the picture. Candy Boris has nothing to do with this. Also, it says that we don't want to spoil too much. But this right here this is not entertainment. So they say we don't want to spoil too much, but sources confirmed that the situation got so bad that Brittany allegedly had also said something about, a pow pow. But that didn't happen at that event. Now they say when Brittany had brought up about the pow pow, that was like down the line, way before this right here is happening. Now, if this is the way that Kenya Moore thought that she could get back at Brittany because of what Brittany said, girl, this is illegal. Now, Brittany could say all day about a pow pow, but when you actually initiate it, and fighting evil with evil is not going to work. So also some of the stuff is cut off, but they say something about my mouth fell to the floor and I'm just and all the blah blah blah. So I can't read that. It's so let me see if I can read some more. But this right here, this is a lot. This is what I call this is too much, guys. So right here, this coming from page 6, say can confirm that Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kenya Moore shock party attendees at her Kenya Moore hair spa Thursday night with posters of series newcomers Brittany Eden allegedly performing, fellatio. We told Eden was not present for the display, and that contrary to reports, she did not subsequently threaten Moore with a pow pow. At no time was Kenya even threatened with a weapon, nor was there even a weapon presented during the course of production. A source close to production exclusive tell page 6 through, though we told the incident was filmed, it's unclear whether it was aired. So right here on page 6, they said that Brittany was not there. Now, Media Takeout said that Brittany was there. So time is going to tell what's going on. But I don't think that Drew Sador will come out, and say something like this. But if Kenya Moore did this, man, girl, you are in some trouble. So Grandma Moochie said, now who would want to go to a salon with that reputation? Who's her clientele? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. And like I said, I've been a cosmetologist for almost 40 some years. And, people don't want to be a part of this unless you like the gossip. Because if you want to know about all the latest gossip, then, sometimes you go into, some of these salons because that's where all the news is at. But if this is the type of drama and this is the type of attention that Kenya Moore wants to bring to, her hair salon, then this right here is gutter ratchet. This is not what I call upscale. And even if her child was there and what they saying, what they saw, they mouth dropped to the floor, then why would you have your child a part of something like this, man? And like I say, guys, this right here, time is going to tell, how this right here is going to unfold. But, this is a lot. And, this is a felony. And this is a first degree felony right here. If, the girl, go in and file charges. And not only that, she don't even have to be on the show anymore. All she have to do now is sit there, get the right attorneys, and she going to sue them until she sue the brakes off of them. I'm pretty sure it's going to be so many lawsuits that's going to be taken care, set in place. But I told you guys, when I used to sit there, people that's following me, been following me for a long time. When I used to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, I told you guys, I say when it comes to Kenya Moore is a loose cannon. No way in the world that, they should sit there and bank off for her. Not Kenya Moore. Not Kenya Moore. Before you sit there and allow Kenya Moore to run with a scene, make sure that, you know exactly how it's all going to play out. Make sure and like I said, guys, all this right here is for entertainment purpose only. You air it out. You are free game. If you feel that you are getting information that's very informative, go ahead and hit the Cash App Real Talk 985, or better yet, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic and non-biased content. So let me go ahead and see how many people that I have went ahead and hit that like button, because in here is real talk. You might not like it, but this real talk, if you are in here, then like I said, I'm gonna stand on my truth, and that's real talk. Okay. So guys, I come on now. I had almost 30 people in here and only 12 people went ahead and hit the like button. And see, that's another thing, when it comes to all this right here. See, when it comes to our people love drama. They love drama. They're not here to sit there and get the truth. All they just looking for drama. And that's why the Most High God is allowing all this stuff to sit there and play out in your face, because this is where our people at. Our people love stuff like this. And I'm pretty sure a lot of them that's really, caught up when it comes to these reality shows, because some of these people, they take this stuff as face value. Really messed up, because these people, some of them need some serious help, especially when it comes to these reality shows. Half of these people that comes on, these people is not about that life. These people are just like the average person, faking it until they make it. And I'm pretty sure, if all this stuff is true and what's going on in real life when it comes to Donald Trump, how they said that he's still running for president. And even if Donald Trump, he become a felony, he still can run. So Kenya Moore, she worked with Donald Trump on Apprentice. So girl, if I was you, I'd call him up. Because if Donald Trump sat there and went for president, you better make sure that you got him on speed dial, because if this is true, you're going to get arrested. Because I'm pretty sure that when it comes to Brittany has no ties to you, no ties to anyone, not when it comes to stuff like this. Now, if she's sitting there putting this girl's stuff, on display for people to sit there and have a kiki moment, then this girl is coming after you on 4 cylinders with her attorneys, ready to blast. So Kenya Moore better be, like I say, she better hope that she still be on this show, because I don't think that Bravo is going to keep her on. They're going to sit there and they're going to savage ties with her. They're going to say, no, you are a big, huge liability. But when it comes to Brittany, this new girl, I'm pretty sure she don't care. To her, look, I'm going to bank off of this right here. I'm going to bank off of this. And I promise you, I didn't even come to talk about this. I came to talk about Sheree Whitfield and Martell Holt and Kim Zolciak Bierman. You know how Portia went ahead and fumbled the ball. And when I say Portia fumbled the ball, because they say that even, her filming is on hold. When it comes to her custody battle, Simon Gabadia, he does not want Portia to film in that house. So now they trying to figure out, how to keep this show going. But if this is the way by banking on Kenya Moore, then my God, you guys dropped the ball. You guys dropped the ball. But I'm pretty sure when it comes to Sheree Whitfield, I would like to hear what she's saying, because she know if she would have brought Martell Holt on that show, which they said that, they still got it open, where most likely they still negotiating to bring Sheree back on that show. And I'm going to say alleged, but that's, exactly what I heard. But they said that, the reason why Sheree Whitfield is not a part of this cast, as of yet, because they took all the money and banked on Portia. So Sheree came out and she said, you got to know your worth. So she was saying, look, you're not going to give me no pennies on the dollar. And I got the golden goose. You think that Portia is the one got the golden goose. Portia can't even talk about the stuff that's going on. But I got the golden goose. Everybody talking about all this stuff that's going on with Martell Holt. And I'm pretty sure that Kenya Moore, oh my God, she was drooling. She was drooling, ready to sit there and eat Martell up alive when Sheree bring Martell on that show, because they did say that Martell had filmed, him going to the courthouse, turning himself in. So they also had said that a lady, someone that Martell is working with, Martell did not come out and say that it was Sheree Whitfield, but he did say a lady had went ahead and bailed him out. Now, who to say that Sheree didn't bail him out for that storyline, and she was going to bring Martell on, to be, her play date, because like I said, when it comes to Sheree Whitfield and Martell Holt, all that was just for, just to get on that show, and if they're together, it's just because of this reality show. I don't think in real life they are together, which most likely that's why they're saying that Ariane and Martell is thinking about moving to Atlanta. So, I guess Bravo ready to open the door again for Martell Holt. But that's why I sat there and say, when it comes to Martell don't have to say anything. All he have to do is just sit back and let God be God. God is going to work it out, because we already know when it comes to these people. These people, they love drama. They clout chasing. They not worrying about the truth. All they worrying about, look, if I don't like this person, I'm going to put my foot on this person's neck and I'm going to ride it until the wheels fall off. But now the tables done turned. So now Kenya Moore and Martell Holt, they got something in common they can talk about now. So nobody can point the finger at nobody. That would be like pot calling the kettle black. So if I was Kenya Moore, I would sit there and I would get in touch with Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump, if he's, got how many, 34 felony counts on him, he's a felon. He is a felon. And I'm pretty sure, if Kenya Moore, get arrested, if this is true, most likely she will. She gonna need Donald Trump to pardon her, trust me, to make these charges go away. And that's real talk. But like I said there and say, honey, what goes around come around. When it comes to karma is not fair. And I truly don't believe in karma. I believe the wrath of God. Revenge is his mine, says the Lord. But if the world wants to believe in karma, then that's something on you guys. But like I say, karma knows your address and not going to forget. I believe you reap what you sow. You go out there and you sow these wicked seeds, then what's going to happen? You're gonna receive a harvest. And this right here, when it comes to Kenya Moore, it is harvest time. Kenya Moore has done a lot. She brought this show to an all-time low. And I'm pretty sure now that Nene Leakes done got wind to it, girl, they having a ball with this because they knew sooner or later something had to stop this train wreck. And Kenya Moore is a train wreck. Kenya Moore has done some very grimy stuff. A lot of people is not on that show because of Kenya Moore. And if she thought that, this is good entertainment just to sit there and get the spotlight on this dying network, girl, you done sold your soul. If that's the case, she done sold her soul for almighty dollars. But like I said, you never win when you play dirty. Never win when you play dirty. Because what goes around come around. And I talk about it all the time. And when it come your way, you might not be able to handle it. And that's real talk. That's real talk.
겁이 나서 시작조차 안 해봤다면 그댄 투덜대지 마라 좀.
And I bet your Phaedra Parks is having a ball with that too, because look all the stuff she did, Phaedra Parks. Like I said, you never win when you play dirty. Never win when you play dirty. And this couldn't have happened at a most vulnerable time because of all the stuff that you guys put Martell Holt on. Y'all put this man through pure hell, and that's real talk. Mercedes says Brittany threatened Kenya. She keep a pile for. Let me take this off. She says Brittany had threatened Kenya. She keep a pile for Mitches. I don't know who is Mitches. Like her did. You missed that. Kenya not nothing to do with any RP. Not guilty. I guess that's what she said. But we only can go by Mercedes. We only can go by of what they put out. This coming from media takeout, and it's not a reliable source. But also when it comes to Drew Sador, it got to be something that happened. I don't think that people is just going to, just make up some stuff like this. I don't think so. So like I said, time is going to tell. Now, when it comes to Kenya Moore, out of fairness, she said that it's not true. But time is going to tell. We're going to see, okay? We're going to see how all this right here is going to go ahead and play out. So let me see if I can find something else, some comments, because if Kenya Moore did this, man, this is what I call an all-time low. If she did something like this, this is what I call an all-time low. If she did do something like this, but I'm surprised, that when it comes to the Shed Room, so the Shed Room didn't post something like this, so it might not be true. I don't know, because the Shed Room, they usually post stuff like this, but all this right here is coming from. This is coming from media takeout. So I'm trying to see what other. I don't even see TMZ. TMZ haven't posted either. So like I say, all this right here for now, it is alleged. So we're gonna see how it's all going to fold out. Okay, so let me see if I can find another site, because they all sitting there. I don't see nobody else saying anything, but so let me see right here. I'm trying to see who else is saying something about this right here. Right here it says Kenya Moore revealed photos of Real Housewives of Atlanta newbie. I read that despite reports, Brittany was not present and did not threaten Kenya. At no time was Kenya ever threatened with a weapon. nor was there even a weapon presented during the course of production. So they said, because people was going around and saying that Britney came there with a pow, but everybody sat there saying that that is not true. You know, So someone else said there and said, I believe they desperately wants us to watch the show. Well, they want us to watch the show by saying something like this, like I said, this is what I call an all-time low. This is not nothing to play about. But, like I said, drama sells. So this right here, they just doing that to sit there and bring attention to this show, and they know we love drama. So I don't know. But also, someone else says Kenya has a daughter and multiple business. I refuse to believe she did something that could literally put her in prison. So until we have hardcore evidence and not just some paragraph from unreliable blogs, she's innocent. And that's out of fairness, but something happened. Now, what happened? We don't know. Okay, we only can go by of what they are putting it out, what they putting out. And also, another person said it couldn't put her in prison if it was already a public photo. So in that case, I could absolutely see Kenya doing something like this, although I can't see her using her own brand business to do it unless they really that desperate for ratings. Yes, Kenya Moore can go to prison because that's illegal. All you have to do is just look at the laws, in Atlanta to see what's going on. Yes, Kenya Moore can go to prison. That's called revenge P. You cannot put stuff, just because I feel that, I want to just go ahead and embarrass a person. You can't do that. People go to prison behind stuff like that. That's called RP. You can't do stuff like that. And if she did it, just to sit there and try to shame a person, then yes, she will go to jail. She can go to prison behind that. Guys, you need to look up the law before you do some stuff. Look up the law. And that's what's wrong with our people. Our people sitting there, they don't want to educate themselves. But that right there is illegal. You cannot sit there and put no RP out on someone. I don't give a care if it's already out there. You still cannot sit there and do something like that. It's not going to work, okay? Mercedes says something did happen. I agree. Okay. So yeah, something did happen. So, they can't sit there and say this is not illegal. This right here is illegal if it is true. But you see, that's how people are. People they have the tendency to pick and choose what, to put out, stuff like this. Oh yeah, you'll try to cover it. And someone else says, oh, okay, I figured that it's being a public photo was a rumor too, but that makes sense. It is already out there. And my thoughts exactly, she has grown too much as a woman and businesswoman that this seems lowbrow for her. Hopefully, we will get all the real tea soon. I don't give a care if it's already out there. People that was following all the stuff that had happened with Nature Boy. He put stuff out there. They agreed to put it out. But when that girl told Nature Boy to take it down, and when he didn't take it down, where he's at now, he's spending life in jail behind stuff like prison behind stuff like that. So when someone sat there and you put something on, you're going to pay the piper. There's consequences behind stuff like that. So also, the story really went from Kenya and Britt had a heated argument to Britt was even there. So they say she wasn't even there. So time is going to tell, how this is going to play out. Yeah, the story all over the place, I think is a lie. Child, I don't know. You let me know what happened this season because I'm already tapped out. People sat there and say they tired, okay? Something is not adding up. Kenya has pulled some stunt in the past, but I hope she didn't stoop that low. It is true. I don't see why she would display this kind of photo at her business. And that's the question. That's the $1 million question right there. At her business, why would she want to go ahead and throw a ranch in her own business, and knowing that, when it's stuff like this, you're going to go through a lot of legal woes, make it make sense, and if she's smart and bright, then girl, what was on your mind. Like I said, when it comes to the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. Kenya has proven she is the gutter lord of the low. Absolutely. It's very believable. She do this. Kenya is one sick pup. Also, another person says she did it, but I'm still not watching. I'm over this franchise. I didn't think Kenya would jeopardize her business that bad because that's too crazy. Well, we're going to see. She said, she didn't do it. So now, some saying that someone else did it. She didn't do it, but still of all, it was in your business establishment. So if it was in your business, you still liable for it. Okay. Also, another person says, I believe it's a made up story to gang up excitement, talk, and monitor. I don't know what that says for upcoming season. It all doesn't even make sense. The story for Brittany pulling a Powell to Kenya showing P is all sounds like a scheme set up by Todd. This is not funny. This right here is not funny, okay? I believe this is all a scam to get us to watch. It's giving a desperate just bring Nene Leakes back. Absolutely. If you got to go to an all-time low like this, just go ahead and get the original cast back on, I believe King is mess as hell, and this is definitely something she would do. And someone else said Team Kenya over here. Well, it's going to be a lot of people saying Team Kenya over here. And right now, like I said, many of our people, we are what I call on the judgment seat. The entire world is watching this mess, especially when it comes to our people. So we're going to see, are you going to sit there and pull out the same measure stick that you did for Martell? When now that the tables done turn, it's come, it done backfire on one of your favorites. So we're going to see how all this stuff is going to go ahead and play out. Okay. So let me go ahead and change it up a little bit. I see my girls in the house, Lady Sparkers. How are you doing, Lady Sparkers? How are you guys doing? Again, guys, happy Saturday. It is very beautiful out here. Very, very beautiful out here. And I thank you all for spending the time with me, but this right here, this is a lot. So let me see, if anybody want to come on, you are welcome to come on. I went ahead and dropped the link. So if you want to come on, you are welcome to come on, Sparkles. Say, hi, baby, looking good. We got to get up, hit me up when you can. Okay, all right, all right. I sure will. Most definitely will. But this is a lot. But this right here is Kenya Moore event. And this is the part that I just don't understand. It was her day, her big event. Why did she, if it is true, why would she wants to add, this type of drama, this type of attention to to her business, and you want to call it a upscale business. This is not what I call an upscale business at all. This right here is what I call gutter ratchet. Gutter ratchet. This is what I call gutter ratchet. So let me go ahead and I'm going to talk about this right here. I don't know if you guys saw this. Tasha K had did an interview with a presidential candidate, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And also it says he is known what black people, if he knows what black people wants in a president. So let's go ahead and talk about this right here because let's go ahead and change the script. I want to go ahead and pull this up right here just to change it a little bit. And let's talk about some of this stuff right here when it comes to Tasha K. Okay. I don't know if you guys went ahead and saw the interview when it came to Tasha K. I think yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, she went ahead and interviewed Robert F. Kennedy. So let's go ahead and play a little bit about this, and then we're gonna close it up.
Feel black people need or want, and a lot of the things that you said are really valid. I'm a firm believer that everything does start with the family, with the mother and the father in the home. But unfortunately, we have a lot of fathers that are out of the home. Inflation is crazy and things like that. Have you truly ever asked black people like what it is that we really need?
I would say I have that conversation all the time For one thing, I'm friends with your friend Angela Stat King.
Mhm.
Oh, she puts me in front of groups all the time in which we have that.
So let me go ahead and stop it right here. This again, guys, this is R.F. Kennedy Jr. Tasha K went ahead and did an interview with him. And a lot of people, they have mixed feelings when it comes to Tasha K even, doing this. But Tasha K also have, a very huge audience, especially when it comes to Black audience. I think on her YouTube page, I think she has like a million some subscribers, and not to mention, of all the other sites that she have. But Tasha K also says that this is literally a must watch interview with hashtag Robert F. Kennedy, because Tasha K asks all the questions everyone else is too scared, and he answered every one of them. So guys, make sure you go ahead and check out that interview when it comes to Tasha K and Robert F. Kennedy. Um, like I said, from what I saw, I think it was a very, very good interview. A lot of people saying that, Angela Staton, she was the one that had wrote a book when it came to Phaedra Parks, with all the stuff that was going on. And she had Tasha K, to do this interview. But we already know when it comes to Tasha K, not Tasha K, she's not going to be forced to do anything, and that's the part that I like when it comes to Tasha K. Tasha K dances by her own music, all the stuff that she went through, she's still sitting there, she's not out for the count. But let me know what your thoughts about this interview right here when it comes to Robert F. Kennedy. Now, like I said, I just, if I had to sit there and give my opinion on it, I just hope that we stop looking at these people to be our savior, because none of them is going to work out. What I think, if you want me to give my honest opinion, I think that we need to start grooming our own people in our own community, which I call that right there. I call it a Jesse root. A Jesse root is means that we got our own people that we need to sit there and raise up for such a time like this to lead us out. Because if you expecting these people to lead us out, then you got another thing coming, And I understand when it comes to the president that we got right now, Biden, and also when it comes to Trump, all the stuff that he's going through, it, it's just a lot. And I know, I don't know, it's just a lot. So let me know what your thoughts about when it comes to stuff like this, because like I said, they say, well, vote for the lesser evil. I don't know, guys, because like I said, you know, it's just a lot going on. And the thing about it, we are now in what I call the age of information, where now we get to see for ourselves what's really going on. So if we know that, is a snake, ain't nobody gonna go and to a snake. But what about the snakes that's hiding in a sheep clothing? Those are the ones that you have to watch. The snakes that's coming out with a smile and saying that they for you, and all the while these jokers are not for you. They're just there because they wants to see what they can get out of you. And that's why, I think when it comes to our people, I hope our people just wake up, because we are more important than they want you to believe. Like I say, we are the lifeline to everything that exists. Without us, nothing will exist. They know in order for them to get into the presidency, they need our vote. But the sad thing about it is that they come on and they pander in these Black communities, and we only see them when it's election time. And even when it comes to President Biden, how he stood up and say the Blacks always have his back. Well, we got your back, but they never have our back. And that's why I sat there and say, cheek and tongue, the mouth will say anything, but we need to sit there and make these people put up or shut up. I could sit there and Dottie Squad, it could say anything. But soon in a minute you get where you need to get, then you know where to be found. You're going to pass all kind of bills and laws for everybody else to justify them, to make them comfortable. But what about us? What about us? And if you don't know how, and you don't want to tackle when it comes to reparation, you lost for words, then I'm lost for words when it's time to at that ballot box, because we should be the first ones to get reparation. It should not go through red tape, go through this person, through that person. No, if we are African Americans, then yes, we should get reparation. And not only that, just because of what our ancestors went through, what about with the Jim Crow laws and how they sat there and put all these stumbling blocks in our way? We could talk about all that right there. And see, this is the stuff that I really like to talk about. But you see, our people don't want to talk about stuff like this. Our people want stuff that's going to stroke them, to entertain us. But this right here, this is not a reality. This is real life issues. This is real life issues. And we don't want to talk about stuff like this because we love to be entertained. And long as we love to be entertained, then we're going to get these type of jokers to sit there and put on this minstrel show for us. But like I said, my solution is it's time for us to start raising up our own people, start getting chapels and get people, because our people are very smart, very intelligent. Don't let the media fool you. They want to put out, and that we thugs and we no goods, and they wants to paint that picture. But like I said there and say, we are the lifeline to everything that exists. Without us, nothing would exist. And they know that they need our vote. They know that they need our vote. And there's a lot of stuff that I could talk about when it comes to stuff like this, especially when it comes to Donald Trump. I truly believe that nothing happened by accident. And for this man to have 34 felonies on him, 34 felonies, and look at how almost 90%, and I might be exaggerating, 90% of our black men and black women are incarcerated. We have right here in America, we have more prisons that's being built up than we have schools, banks, libraries. We have our young kids in school going straight to the prison pipelines. We got the schools setting our kids up for failure. But like I said, we've been praying, we've been asking God how long. When are we going to come out of what I call the state of Lodabar? And the thing about it is that when it comes to our people, we look for something to pop out of the sky to set right there in our lap, Oh, sorry about that, in our lap. But the Most High God is not going to do anything until you make that first step. When you make that first step, then he's going to sit there and then he's going to take over it. But long as we waiting for some magician, waiting for some hocus pocus, some savior to come and rescue us, then we're going to stay in what I call the place of Lodabar. It's like this story. You remember this story, how a man was on top of his roof because it was flood and had a terrible storm, and his house had flooded. The everything was flooded. So he went and sat on top of the rooftop, and he was praying that God would give him some type of rescue. So a boat came by, he passed it up. A helicopter came by, he passed it up because he was waiting for something to pop out of the sky when God already gave him so many things to rescue him. And that's how it is when it comes to us. We looking for something to come and rescue us when we got all the necessary tools right here. But we look at something else to sit there and part the Red Sea to let us out. But all I'm just sitting there and saying, things happen for a reason. And When it comes to Donald Trump, which I'm not promoting no Donald Trump, but I'm just saying, like I said, I could take the foolish things to conform the wise. But when it comes to Donald Trump, if this man got a felony, and it's just, it's so weird. We got people that can't even get a job because they got a felony attached to their background, but yet you still can become the president of the United States with a felony. So just say, let's just go ahead and talk, and I'm gonna go ahead and close it out after this right here. Just say right now, if Donald Trump become the first president with a felony, I want to know, how would he feel about all the rest of the people that's incarcerated, or the other people that, people that trying to get a job and good citizens, but they can't get a decent job because they have felony attached to them. I wonder if he gonna pass a law, you know, that people that has a felony and they are good, they are good people, but they just was caught up in some things, especially when it comes to the Crow law. Would he pardon these people? Would he pardon these people? That's something to think about. That is something to think about, because like I said, I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. Nothing is by coincidence. And when it comes to Biden, we already know, a lot of stuff, especially the three strikes you out, a lot of stuff happened, because, the things that they put in place. A lot of families was divided, and a lot of families, was really, destroyed. So it's just a lot of stuff that, we can go ahead and think about, because the power is in our hands, guys. Let's stop these people, from making us thinking that it's not, we have no say in this. We have the final say. We have the final say of everything that goes on, because like I said there and say, we are the Alpha and Omega. We are the beginning and the end. Without us, nothing will exist. And that's real talk. So he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. So you all be blessed and enjoy the rest of your day.